So I had hyperemesis gravidarium with my third pregnancy. Yes. So in this video to talk about my symptoms, medication, treatment, weight loss, nutrition, and everything that I went through, so that whoever comes across this video and you're facing the same, you know that you're not alone. And if anyone is close to you, either your partner, loved one, friend, or sister, name it, is going through this, you know how to support them and what not to say to them and how to be there for them through this difficult situation. Stick with me. So I am a mom of three, two amazing boys and a beautiful girl. In my two pregnancies before this one, they were boys, right? And my last is a girl. And then I noticed that the thing they say that not all pregnancies are the same is totally true. For my first pregnancy, I had morning sickness, but it wasn't intense at all. The only thing I noticed that made me to realize that you probably will be pregnant is that smell was irritating me. The perfumes I used to like, the roll-on, everything was irritating me. I remember I told my husband to pack everything away from my sight, away from my range, close range. So that was one for my first pregnancy. And the second thing I noticed that my first pregnancy that I remember is that I could not eat my own food. I love to cook, yeah, and I would cook. Anytime I cook, I couldn't get it down. I would vomit it. But every other person's food, if I eat out or I'm at a restaurant and I eat, I don't vomit or eat any other person's food. I wasn't vomiting. And so I realized that, okay, this is what this pregnancy wants. So you just have to find out and figure out, okay, this is what this pregnancy. For every other thing, I was fine. There was no morning sickness like that. In fact, then at work, one of my friends will cook and make sure that it's for both of us. And she will bring it to work and then we eat together. Because she knew that I couldn't eat my own food. And I love you, thank you so much. For my second pregnancy, which was a boy too, in this one I was cooking my food and I could eat my food, but I couldn't eat out. It was the opposite. I couldn't eat out. If I eat out at a restaurant anywhere, I would vomit it. Smell was still irritating me. This was the two symptoms I had with my second too. I think I remember, yeah. And I was also glowing and all that. So now to my third, which is the main thing of this video. So all pregnancies were different, yeah, but the boys were similar. But the last one, I had hyperemesis gravidarium. In fact, hyperemesis gravidarium is a severe form of nausea and vomiting that goes on during pregnancy. It is beyond the normal morning sickness. At first, I didn't know, right? I was just living my life. We didn't even know that I was pregnant. All of a sudden, we found out that we were pregnant. I did a home test. I found that. If you guys are following me, you'll see the video where I announced pregnancy. Yes. So, and then I went to do a blood test at the hospital to just be sure. And then we found out I was pregnant. Yeah. And then the journey began. 5 weeks into the pregnancy, I found out I was extremely sick. Things were different. This is not the normal way I used to feel when I'm pregnant. Yes, smell was still irritating me, but I couldn't get any food down. I mean, my favorite food were irritating me. If I eat, I was vomiting more than 5 times a day. At some point, there was nothing to vomit, and I started vomiting yellow substances. Sometimes I had blood in my mouth everywhere. I couldn't even get water down. So weak. Sometimes on the bed, I just didn't want to do anything. I was so weak, I was throwing up at every chance. I was always going to the restroom to throw up. I couldn't even play with my sons, and I felt really terrible and bad because I was just so weak. It wasn't like tiredness. It was as if everything in you, like it's just been drained. Like you don't even have strength to stand up from the bed. It was that serious. Yes, even water was making me vomit. If I take ordinary water, I would vomit. And so I decided to try cold water. So I wasn't functioning. I couldn't function. At some point, I had to stay back home and couldn't go to work. It was terrible. I went to the hospital, the first place I went to. They said this is normal. So this is not normal. I've been pregnant before. This is not a normal morning sickness. And then I went to a gynecologist, person that attends to a pregnant woman, a doctor at a maternity hospital. And when I got there, he diagnosed that, it's probably you have hyperemesis gravidarium. And so at that point, I had lost a lot of fluid. And so they started giving me IV. They placed me on drip, gave me IV, and I was admitted immediately. I felt really terrible this period. It felt like I was alone, even though I was surrounded by the love of my husband, my mom, and my sisters. They were really helpful, trying to understand what it was, and I'm grateful for their support. So I was admitted, and I want to say a big shout out to. I'm grateful to my friend that came to stay with me in the hospital during the period. They had to replace all the fuse that I had lost, and I found out that the only thing I was able to eat was swallow amala. To the rescue. Amala, fufu, semo, and even at that I wasn't eating so much. I lost weight. Then my husband found out that I could eat yogurt. There was a special yogurt he would buy from work when he was coming from work and then give it to me. I was taking that a lot. I think, yeah. So like I said, I was admitted and I was told to be on bed rest. In fact, they wanted to keep me in the hospital for some days. But I told them I couldn't stay. I want to go home. And I don't mind asking the nurse for them to release a nurse to me to come home with me or come to the house to always come to treat me. And so that was what we did. That was the plan. So a nurse would come to the house to treat me and give me my IV. I had a number that I was supposed to take, and so she would treat me at home. After that, I was giving drugs, and then so to my nutrition. So like I said, I found out that you just need to figure out at this period where you're facing what you're facing. Don't worry, it is going to pass, right? It's going to pass. People say that it comes with gender, that if you're having a female, that is when you face HG. That's what we abbreviate it to. I wouldn't know, but and so I understand anyone facing this right now. You're coming across this video, you're not alone. Don't worry, it's going to pass. So just find out the nutrition, find out, test things, and find out what works for you. So along the line, I found out that okay, I needed to rest a lot. I needed to be on drip, on treatment, and I also found out that I was taking avocado and egg. We tried that avocado, and I was eating that a lot and give the baby nutrition. And so that was what I did during the period of the HG. I cried a lot. So if you're crying a lot during this period, you're watching this video, I am sending you lots of love, a lot of God's love. Don't worry, it's going to pass. Today is the 17th of January 2025. Baby is actually 1 month today. That some of the symptoms can be faintness and dizziness. Yes, I was very dizzy. I was feeling very dizzy, as if I wanted to faint. I never fainted. Yes, so when I was researching too, and I also saw a group that a support group kind of on Instagram about this, I found out that there are different cases. It means that it can be mild, it can be severe. So you just need to find out which one and what is happening right now. And I was always dizzy. So the treatment options are, I went to the hospital, they did blood tests for me, found that I'd lost lots of fluid and decided giving me intravenous fluids, drip. So that was the treatment I was giving. Another treatment can be oral hydration. Just make sure that you are in constant communication, that you visit an hospital, and if it's extremely sick for 1 month. 1 month I could not function for 1 good month. And this thing lasted for 3 months in my first trimester. Yes, it did. When I started getting better, I started going to work, I started living normal, but then I wasn't eating well, but the things I found that I could eat, I had them, and after a while it just went away. Alright, so I hope this has helped someone, and if you have someone that is facing this, if you're currently facing this, I'm sending love and a lot of hugs your way. If you have someone facing this, please they need someone to understand them, because it can feel really terrible. I felt really terrible. I am grateful for support and love. Grateful for my friends, because they were all around me. Those that knew I was pregnant, they would always check up, they would always come around. What should I cook for you? And I'm grateful for all of this. So if you have someone like that, please be there for them. Do not say words that are demeaning, or are you the only person that will be pregnant, things like that. Alright, and I pray that even if you're going through this, God will give you strength to overcome this in the name of Jesus. Sending lots of love your way till I see you in my next video. Goodbye.